Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a pretty good video for you. Today's video is about our friend, our little girl down there, our vagina. We're not about to sit here and use a bunch of play words, you know, kitty cat, pussy, all these little fake words that people be coming up with. It's a vagina. That's what we're going to be talking about today. I wanted to do a video about vagina odor and how to make sure you stay nice and fresh down there. It's very important, and as a female, I know sometimes that it can be very difficult, especially in the hotter months, to keep your personal area a little bit fresh. I have a number of different products that I use on my vagina, and I wanted to share them with you guys and tell you all the tips and stuff as far as how to keep your area down there nice and fresh. So, tip number one. The first thing that I would say is really important when it comes to how fresh your vagina is the amount of water you drink. And it's not necessarily just water, but just the things that you consume, period. But I noticed that when I drink more water, my vagina smells fresher than when I'm drinking things that really aren't good for my body. It's just one of those things, like what you put in, you get out, as far as breakouts, your hair and your vagina as well. And I realized that the more water that I drink, the fresher that my vagina smells. Now, when it comes to my ladies out there who are sexually active, you have to keep your vagina, you have to put more care into your vagina than somebody who is not sexually active may have. If you notice a difference in before you were sexually active and now that you are sexually active, how your vagina smells, you may realize that the scent changes and your vagina goes through a lot of different changes, especially when you become sexually active. So you definitely have to go the extra mile, take an extra step into vagina care. Aside from the things that you put into your body, that is the first thing that's important when it comes to vaginal hygiene. The second thing that's really important when it comes to vaginal hygiene is the type of underwear you wear. Now I noticed when I wear cotton underwear, cotton are a lot more breathable. When I wear cotton underwear, I realize that my vagina keeps its freshness a lot longer than if I'm wearing my more lacy underwear and like my thongs and stuff like that. That's because of the material and like the pH balance in your underwear. I know that, you know, you guys don't always wear cotton underwears. It's recommended that we should wear cotton underwears, especially white cotton, because they don't have the dyes in it that like other cotton has. But cotton underwear, it keeps it a lot fresher. It's breathable, so your vagina, the pH balance is neutral and regulated, as opposed to wearing, you know, things like silk and lace. You may experience different odors and stuff like that just because that material, there's such a sensitive area down there. When you use things like that, it's really not as good for your vagina as per se cotton. So what I do is, majority of my underwear, I believe, is cotton. I get most of my underwear from Victoria's Secret. I have a couple of underwear that are from other places, but majority of my underwear is from Victoria's Secret. If your vagina is like OD sensitive, where so you have to wear cotton underwear, but you still want to wear your lace underwear, what I would recommend you do is there's a lot of places that sell lace underwear, but the lining on the inside is cotton. Try to lean more towards those, and if you don't get those, if you really want to take the extra mile and the extra step, put cotton inside of your lace underwear. Like, sew on some cotton fabric on the inside of your lace underwear. That way you can still be cute and sexy, but that liner on the inside of your underwear is cotton, so you're still getting the air that you need. The third thing that's really important when it comes to vaginal hygiene is the soap that you use. Now, before I share with you the soap that I use on my vagina, I'm just going to say it is definitely worth the hype. Now, I was hearing about this before when I was 12, 13, and I heard a bunch of people talking about it, and I really didn't think it was that serious. Back then I wasn't buying my own soap. My mom was, and this isn't what she used. She just used regular bar soap. But when I started wanting to buy my own things, I decided to try this soap, and I have not looked back since. So my vagina in particular is not necessarily my vagina, but I have a reflux of the bladder, and I'm not really going to get into what reflux of the bladder is, but basically I cannot use bubbles. If I use bubbles, I would get a urinary tract infection. I can get a number of things. I've had this since I was a child. It has to do with like my kidneys and my bladder. It's a lot, but basically I'm not allowed to use bubbles, and I can't use certain soaps on my vagina because of like the perfumes and stuff that's in it. So when it comes to like my Bath and Body Works soap, I try to keep that on my, put this on, mustard. When it comes to like my Bath and Body Works soap, I try to keep that on my upper body, and I only put it on my shoulders and my arms. But when it comes to my vagina, I use one of two soaps. When I am not on my period, I use Summer's Eve. It's really worth the hype. I feel like with this Summer's Eve, like I compare it to the soap that I was using before when my mother was still buying my soap. We were using Caress, I believe. And with soaps like that, y'all ever use certain soaps and you feel like you can smell the soap mixed with your vagina? Like it has this scent. I can't really explain it, but it's like your vagina and the soap mixed together. That's what I was experiencing before, but literally with this, I don't experience that at all. It leaves my vagina with this clean, fresh scent. Now they have a bunch of different colors and different scents. The first time I tried a sensitive one, and that one doesn't have any smell at all. So if you're extremely sensitive, I recommend you try using that one. And when I saw that I liked that, I was like, you know, let me try this one. So this one does have a scent, and this one is also for sensitive skin, but it has a scent. The other one is unscented, so that's for like really sensitive skin. So this one is for sensitive skin. This is the Island Splash. The only other one I've tried other than this one is the purple one, but I like this one more. Honestly, I like the way the purple one smells better. It smells better than this one. However, I feel as though this scent that this Summer's Eve has, I don't know, and just this one just worked better for me. You guys may be different, but it just leaves my vagina smelling really fresh and clean. It's not like a strong perfume down there. It shouldn't smell like perfume. It should just really smell like water. Like literally it should smell like nothing. And I feel like that's what this soap does. The scent is not really strong if you smelled it before. It's a really natural scent. I'm pretty sure a lot of people use this, but for the people who don't, I really do recommend this. And it's really good when it comes to taking care of your vagina. When I'm on my period, I try to keep soaps away from my vagina. I know a lot of people think that's nasty, but if you talk to a doctor, you're really not supposed to use any soap on your vagina. Like not even Summer's Eve. You're supposed to only use water on your vagina because soaps have a lot of different chemicals and stuff in it, and your vagina is a self-cleaning oven. It cleans itself. So you really just need water and stuff, but I'm like most people, I want a little bit of a scent. But when I'm on my period, if you really know a lot about the female body and how everything works, when you're on your period, your body is cleaning itself out, and I really don't like to mix that with anything else. That's your body getting its pH together naturally. It's doing what the hell it's supposed to do. So I stay away from soaps on my vagina when I am on my period. The only area down there that I will put soap on is on the creases, like the sides of your lips on the outside. As far as the middle, like where your clitoris is on the inside of your lips, I do not put any soap right there when I'm on my period. I let the blood and everything that's happening do what the hell it's supposed to do, and I just keep the soap on the outside, you know, where the sweat is, and just the outer part of my vagina. And that soap is, I use Olay. So those are the only two soaps I use on my vagina. I do not use anything else, and they're really the only two soaps I use, period. Every once in a while I'll take some Bath and Body Works and I'll just put it on my shoulders if I want an extra scent that day. But yeah, those are like the only two soaps that I put on my vagina. The next thing I'm going to talk about is how to keep your hairs down, which ultimately more hair comes with more odor. I don't want women to feel like we have to shave for men. I'm not saying that at all. I believe that hair is natural and we shouldn't be held to an expectation whereas though we are supposed to be completely hairless. We grow hair down there, meaning we're supposed to have hair down there. However, I do realize that hair can result in extra odor, bacteria and stuff. It clinks onto the hair, especially women of color. Our hair is a lot more kinkier and really thick, so our hair especially, it just clinks to bacteria and dirt and just sweat and just odor, period. I stopped shaving my vagina a couple of years back just because razor bumps are terrible. If you still shave your vagina, you need to stop. Honestly, I recommend Nair, which is what I use, or getting a wax in, just because when you're shaving your vagina, the razor cuts the hair in such a sharp way that the hair grows back into your skin, which is results in hair bumps, especially women who have curlier hair down there. Now if your hair is more fine, you can probably get away with shaving still. I have a friend who had really fine hair and she shaved every single day and her vagina was smooth like a fucking baby's ass. But me and more women of color with thicker curlier hair down there, you really have to stay away from the razors. You're going to get hair bumps. It's going to itch. It does a lot. So I mean, I heard that back in the day, but I really didn't know. I know a lot of women, when I tell them that I use Nair, a lot of people will say that they're scared because they don't want to burn themselves and this, that, and third. Okay, I need you to grow some balls and put this on your vagina. If you could take this sharp razor and put it on your vagina, then you could take this Nair and put it on your vagina. You will not believe how many people tell me they're scared to put Nair on their vagina because they don't want to burn themselves. Baby, get the hell over it and put this Nair on your vagina. When I use Nair, I Nair about once a week. My hair grows really quick. This is why I don't get waxing, because waxing is very expensive, and as quick as my hair grows, I'm not paying $50 every week just to remove some hair when I can use Nair. When I get rich, I'm pretty sure I'm going to start going to waxing, but for now we're just going to stick to the Nair. Now I think it says somewhere on here that you're not supposed to put on your vagina, but a bunch of stuff says you're not supposed to do stuff with it, and you do it anyway. So I'm telling you that this is a good way to get the hair off your vagina. Now this one is soft and baby oil. This is the one that I have right now. However, I have tried the the aloe one, and you know aloe is really soothing, and I tried that one. I like the way this one smells better, but the aloe is a lot more sensitive. It's softer on your vagina, so I recommend that one. I mean, I use both. They work just the same. So basically, you put the Nair on, you leave it for about 3 minutes, and then you take a washcloth and you wipe the Nair off. What I do is, I understand you don't want to get on your clitoris. I have done that one time years ago. One time I got it on my clitoris and it did burn like hell, but I know how to avoid that. What you do is you put the hair on everything on the outside, all your lips, everywhere. You put it all over your vagina. After you're done putting the application everywhere, you take your finger and you wipe off your clitoris. That way you know that there's no hair on your clit. You wipe it off with your finger to make sure that there's no hair on there. And then after I wash it off in the shower, the only places that hair is still left is on the inside of my lips, and it's a very little bit on there, and then like way deep down in my ass crack. Now, if you're sexually active and you have a man and your man loves you and y'all got a good relationship, get him to shave it. I can do it myself, but sometimes like Tristan would just do it for me. You know, you bend over or you lay on the bed, you spread your cheeks, you open up real wide, and you get him to shave, because you do grow hair in your ass. I do. I'm a hairy individual, but I'm pretty sure everybody grows hair in their ass. I probably grow more, but you just open your ass cheeks and you get everything up in there. I can do it myself. Like I said, he do it every once in a blue moon, but if you need to do it yourself, when you're in the shower, you just squat really low. The lower your squat, the more the cheeks are going to spread. And when you squat, you take your shaving cream and you put it back there, and you very carefully shave the inside of your ass cheeks. That's how you get rid of hair. Now, after you're done with all of that, you need to take some fresh aloe, something to rub on your vagina to soothe it. Don't take anything that's strong, like alcohol, anything that's going, it will burn. So take something a little bit more soft and soothing, like aloe, maybe some coconut oil, and you just rub everything down with that when you're done, and you're good to go. I promise you, once you start using Nair, you will never look back. The shaving cream that I had, this is a Family Dollar brand. I'm a firm believer. I wouldn't even say I'm a budget spender, but I believe that certain things you have to get name brand, like my Summer's Eve and my Nair. I get name brand when it comes to these, but stuff like shaving cream, deodorant, certain stuff you don't have to get on name brand. It's really not gonna make a difference. So this is just a Family Dollar brand shaving cream. I don't know. And the razor that I used to use the cheaper razors, but I actually start buying the name brand ones. I think this is a Venus razor. Yep, this is a Venus razor, and it comes with a pack of 4. I'm just switching my razor, and the razor I was using before, I was using for about 4 months, and I don't use it until it's dull. I just use it until I just really feel like it's time for me to switch my razors out. But yeah, I like to use name brand razors. They last longer. It really does make a difference. So when it comes to razor, I have switched to using name brand razors for my vagina. After you're done with your Nair, you don't have to do this the same day. It really depends on person, but any other day, it's very good to exfoliate your body in general, but your vagina is really good to exfoliate. I use Tree Nut. They have a bunch of different ones. I'm just trying this pink one, and I like it. This one is Moroccan Rose. Oh my god, it smells so good. Before I was using this one, I think it was called Shea Butter or something. It was brown, and it smelled like honey and brown sugar. It was brown, but this one, it smells so good. And I had this exfoliating cloth. I put my hand through this side, and I put the scrub on here, and I scrub my vagina. Don't scrub it super hard. This is just to exfoliate, you know, keep it really smooth. Over time, if you continue to do this, I promise you it will make a difference. My next tip when it comes to taking care of your vagina is the things you put on your vagina on the day-to-day basis. Me personally, I sweat a lot, so I have to keep my vagina really fresh. At first, I don't have any with me now because I don't use it anymore, but Summer's Eve has this brand. It's spray. They have it in all the flavors that the body wash comes in, and it's a spray. And what I would do is I would spray my vagina when I get out the shower. It's like a vaginal deodorant, and it would just keep me really fresh. I think I stopped buying it after a while, just because, I don't know, I just started using deodorant. It's stronger. In the wintertime, I'll get away. I can use this spray if I want to. Like I said, I just stopped buying it. But they had this spray, and your vagina sweats anywhere in your body that crease sweat. Some people sweat more than others, but your vagina does sweat. So just like you have to put deodorant under your arms, you need to put deodorant down there, because if you go throughout the day, you'll notice that your vagina can start to smell like underarms. And it's not your actual vagina stinking. It's just the creases between like your lips and your legs, especially bigger women. I'm not big, but I have pretty large thighs and a pretty fat vagina, so your lips and your legs touching all day is gonna create an odor. So me, I've been doing this for years. Like I said, at first I used the vaginal spray, but now I just take my deodorant when I get out the shower. I wipe one, and this is the creases between your lips and your legs. Wipe one on one side, one on the other, and I just keep it moving. It keeps me fresh all day. I do notice that if for whatever reason I forget to do that, my vagina will smell like underarms, and it won't be like unbearable where it's like super strong and everybody else can smell it. But if I go to the bathroom, it will smell like underarms. So I have to make sure that I put the deodorant on the creases of the side. And like I said, I do that especially in the summertime. In the wintertime, if I want you know, sometimes you don't want to necessarily smell like deodorant down there. Me, it just smells fresh to me. But you can use the spray. You will smell that throughout the day, and it really did keep me fresh all day. I think I was using the summertime, and it worked sometimes, but sometimes it didn't. So if you sweat a lot, and especially in the summer, I recommend you use deodorant. But if you're not a big sweater, but you will sweat a little bit, you could just use the spray, you know, just spray it down there, and it will keep you fresh all day long. My very last tip when it comes to vaginal odor is, and vaginal care in general, is what I use when I wash my vagina. I do not use any rag whatsoever down there. I don't even use a rag on my body, but that's just up to preference. But when it comes to my vagina, I do not use a rag. I use my fingers. My fingers can get in all the creases. Do not be afraid to touch yourself, and I don't mean that in an inappropriate way. You need to look at your vagina. You need to gradually, y'all see this mirror right here? I have this mirror, and every couple weeks you need to put this mirror down on the ground, get over top of it, and squat your ass on top of this mirror and look down and make sure everything is fine and copacetic down there. Especially if you're not with somebody that's going to check you, and you only go to the doctors like once or twice a year, so you have to constantly check your vagina. Anything can be happening down there and you will not know about it. So you need to use a good mirror like this. It has a magnifier on one side. Make sure everything is fine down there, especially if you are having sex with somebody. It's really good to make sure that your vagina is good down there. And I use my fingers to cleanse myself. I use a squirt of the soap in my hand, and I rub it in my hands, and I just give myself a nice massage in the shower. I'm not like masturbating or anything in the shower, but that's just how I clean. I've been doing it for years. When it comes to my body, I do the same thing. Honestly, I use my hands. Only thing I use a washcloth on is my face. But when it comes to my body, every once in a while I'll use a sponge on my body. But when it comes to my vagina, I use nothing but my hands. The only time I will use a rag down there is when I'm wiping off the nair, and that's it. I do not use anything on my vagina but my hands. I just think that's a better way to go. Your hands, you can get in all the creases, you can feel everything, make sure everything is good. It's your vagina. Don't be afraid to touch it. You need to make sure everything is going on down there the way it's supposed to be going on, okay? That is all that I have for you guys as the tips on keeping your vagina nice and fresh. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I love you so much, and I will see you tomorrow.